Good morning.
Hey, everybody.
Ooh, we made
Do a
it.
little chit chat. We're a little 10 minutes behind, but thank you so much.
Good
We have
morning. Good
Nancy Jean's
morning.
Garden here
Hello.
and the beautiful Debbie.
Mhm.
Good to
So
be here.
before we get started, a little public service announcement. Andrea wanted me to just share that she is taking back her Sundays. She's going to miss this show, but she wants to move on and have her lovely Sundays to herself and do what she needs to do. She doesn't want this commitment. She's totally loved this time with all you all on Sunday mornings. And it's nothing to do with nothing. We just evolve. And our lovely crystal genius, Nancy Jean, will be joining us.
I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got to change that. I had Andrea scheduled and I got confused.
Hmm.
But anyway, thank you all for being here. What else is going on with you, Nancy Jean? You do your
I just want to say welcome to Nancy Jean. And I want to say that she is a genius with crystals, but she's also a genius with a lot of other things that we talk about on Sunday mornings. So it'll be nice to have you, Nancy.
I'm glad to be here. And one time when Andrea was going to be full time and not at a job, not 40 hours a week, and then trying to stuff all the rest of it in, I told her, you're going to need to take time off. I normally took Saturday and Sunday off. I really kept those apart just for a matter of self care. And that's true for people who read and for people who listen to the readers. You need to do a lot of self care. And I was so excited. I'm excited to be here with y'all, but I'm really excited to see her doing that because it's really easy to get in the circle, get in the wheel, and be a little hamster and run your little legs off until and you can't. I can tell you from having done this for 60 years, you cannot do this and not have time that you spend on yourself. So but
definitely.
I'm happy to share myself here, and I'm now taking another day off during the week. So I'll still have my 5 days of work and 2 days of rest.
There you go. Yep, I always tell everyone, in readings or whatever, if it's asked, and I do it myself. If I am overwhelmed, let's say, I have long work days, stressed, or just body whoop, depending on how much physical activity, I won't read. I gotta decompress, gotta take off because it's extending more energy, and you do need time for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's self care is really a big part of the transition of learning how to ascend, because too much of how we stayed in 3D was by sacrificing little bits and pieces of ourselves and just think, oh, it's a little bit, but every little bit is part of you. So we're all going to move on and share and enjoy and send love and light to Andrea and hope she just has the best Sunday she's had in years.
Yeah, of course.
Yay.
I will definitely miss her, but we all evolve.
That's true.
Um, I'm bringing up a couple. Okay, I put it in the post, but I'm going to have a live show. I created another deck, an oracle deck, and I'll show a few pictures here quick. But how I would use them and whatnot, I'll do in a live show and unveiling. But now that I have all the tools and understand how to work it, it took a lot less time than the tarot deck.
Yeah.
Let me just bring this up quick, and then we'll get on to readings. Chrome tab.
Christina wants to know if you'll still be doing mystery theater.
Oh yes, every other week we are still doing mystery theater. Okay.
Oh, those are awesome.
Okay. Bring. Okay.
See it up close.
Come on.
It's
Load
got
it
love.
up. Oops. Okay. See that?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
good.
That
That's
would be one card. Activate your nucleus to perfection. So what that is meaning is just focus on your own health because our cells have our DNA memory of
mhm,
perfection.
mhm.
So when that comes up, you may have some issues with your your sanity or
Your sanity.
overextended. It's like you want to get in a place where you want to be comfortable, like do meditation or whatever, to get your cellular memory back into focus. So that would be one type of card.
The way I'd read that one, Scott, is you need to focus back on what your original genetic memory is, because sometimes we
Ooh.
flop other stuff on it that's not appropriate. So go back
Mm-hmm.
to your source.
And Christina, yes, Andrea will be on tomorrow night, actually. But late women empowering women night. Yeah.
Right. As far as Andrea goes, it's just Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
They're the choices.
Ooh, I love it.
I like that.
So you have your choices of what path you may take. There's roads in there, and there's a possible UFO, and that's near. I think that was taken near Mount Shasta.
Ooh.
Where this image was all that way, but that was via choices. You have a choice in your life. Which way do I go? Just be aware. Then share one more. Then we can get on to our coffee time, political stuff. So this would be kind of like a devil card. You've overextended yourself. You have materialism. You might have a possessive relationship or some kind of problems at work, so you have to make a change. You see, the body's cracked, so you could have problems with the body too, possibly.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
There we go. I mean, I decided to do 45. The division of 3, 45 cards. So,
Very cool. Very cool. Can't wait to get them.
Here we go. All right.
So you're going to let us know when we can order, correct?
It should be Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, like I said, I'll probably do a live show. Have people, to say, give me an oracle read and throw out 3 cards and see what it says for each people, and then explain it.
Awesome.
But yeah, I use pictures off the web, free ones, and then looking at each picture, put a message of what I think they would mean.
Mm-hmm.
How different situations in our life where we need to make changes or thoughts, and I even have a crystal one in there.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of crystals.
So if the crystal card comes up, it'd be like, hey, I need to talk to Nancy Jean and get it back into my crystal focus.
No. Yeah, call me anytime, Scott. You got the number.
All righty. Let's get on to reads of the day. So I suppose we could start. And if you have any other questions, just put it in there. I'll star them. There's a lot going on. Harley girl said she watched too many tarot readers. I had to purge.
That happens.
Yeah, it can get overwhelming.
And we change as we read, as we grow. At one point, we may touch where your life is, and then we may not touch where your life is. And
yeah,
I've known that over years. There have been people I was very connected with, and then I realized I'd gone either a different direction than they had. So there's nothing wrong with that. That's just part of your growing.
Yeah. I actually watch a few less too. I still subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
I always watch my favorite ones. My soul family. I watch every one of Debbie's. I watch every one of Nancy Jean's. Those type of people.
Thank you.
But some I just don't watch anymore. I might give them a video ad click, to share.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, myself, I've been more in tune and wanting more spiritual info than the political info. You know what I mean? Grow more in that essence and learn more about astrology and the crystals and how to help people more than political stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
I do like.
Here's some more questions coming in too.
Thank you. Okay. America better than last year. Ooh, thank you for all the questions. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is Disney planning anything, or they just have to sit back and flow?
Disney just needs to sit back.
Mhm.
They planned all this. I mean, I don't know how many of you have ever been around when people are deciding how to give tax breaks or how to bring business into cities and stuff. I've done a little bit of that in Dallas, and um, they never thought the state would turn on them, but they were ready for it. There's, honest to God, in this reading, there's 3 sevens out of 5 cards. The other 7 is they watched it. They're just letting them let Florida stew in its own juice. Florida is going to come begging back because no one in Orlando. I don't know if you saw the numbers, but it's $2,200 per year more in property taxes to all the people who live in Orlando if Disney doesn't keep covering everything. And DeSantis is going to be crying to the moon, but who cares?
Imagine that. I think the federal government is suing on it. Is one of his bills or some other bill?
Well, there's several of them that they're looking at.
I mean, there's not going to be.
Also, they're looking at the connection between DeSantis and the school books, because the school books, I don't know if any of you have ever been around that, but there's a lot of how school books get to be finally in the classroom, and there'll be school book publishers that will put intermediaries in different departments to make sure their stuff gets through. We had a school board member that when we finally sort of came up to a thing, you have term limits, but there was a woman that was on there for 25 years who was an employee of a school book company. So you can imagine what a good, clean look all those school textbooks got. You know, when they're the ones who vote and you're around those people. It's a game people used to play that I think is one of the ones that's falling to the side. And let's just put a big spotlight on it. But
yeah, Disney doesn't have to do anything. What I have is the 6 of Cups, Page of Coins, and 10 of Cups. Basically, that's telling me everything Disney has done for Florida in the past is family.
Right.
You know, they basically own the 10 of Cups. They basically own Florida, at least that upper Northwest, as far as what they bring to the community. And then I have a huge failure for DeSantis here because I have Justice and a 10 of Swords. The balance coming in, it's like, oops, this didn't work. I'm a huge failure. And then there will be a change with the Empress and 6 of Swords.
Yep.
So Disney easily wins.
Easily. Yeah.
There's some kind of connections coming out with DeSantis. With the I got the Lovers and High Priestess underneath the Justice and 10 of Swords. It feels to me like some kind of guarded secrets or something is coming out on him with his connections.
Oh, I think that's starting to fall apart, like them tracking back the school books to a publisher in Virginia that he has financial connections to. That's when we finally gotten rid of the bad ones around here. That's what's happened. People realized they were too tied up. Debbie, you're in Florida.
I am
closer to the source.
Bring in that Florida energy.
Yeah, I think you guys. I'm just bringing up the caboose here. I mean, it's basically what you said. You have the Hermit and the Sun together, so they just sit back and watch it play out. You know what I mean? Definitely the power's in their hands. They have the power. moving forward here. And there's a little bit of a balancing, but see, it comes back to that money thing that you guys were talking about. With the two. But yeah, they're solid. You have the 9 of Pentacles, and they are like solid. And this is DeSantis.
You got
swords and the mice there, and it like I got a while ago when I read on this at the beginning of this fiasco, this was going to come back and bite DeSantis on the ass, and it looks like it is.
I was also reading something else that the county board or director of governors have to approve anything too. It kind of goes with their own budgeting and whatnot.
Right.
It's like in the bylaws or something that the county board of governors, whatever, has to approve any deal too, and they're not gonna.
No. Well, they will never be the county board of governors anymore. I mean, those are all elected positions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this is going to be a huge failure, and that's pretty much the same thing we were getting when it all started, and nothing changed.
Yeah, I also got when Disney, because I read on Disney when they first didn't respond correctly to the Say Gay Tale thing, and I said, "Oh, they just created some trouble for themselves by doing that," and it has been. It kind of have some stuff for them that they're dealing with, but in regards to this, yeah, they're going to be just fine.
Well, Disney is in a bad spot because they're moving the Department of Imagineering to Florida, and they're making all those people move from California, and they already didn't want to move, and now they're saying they won't. And that's a part of their company they can't really afford to let go either.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Yeah, pretty much, Ian. There's too many pictures with Mr. DeSantis with Mr. Greenberg and Gates for him not to be tied up in one way or another. Yeah, we read on that numerous times. There is a connection. Geez. Got behind in the chat, just making sure I didn't have any other questions that I missed.
So Christina says I'm in and out. What does that mean? Can you guys hear me?
You're breaking up, Debbie.
The connection kind of has went on and off a little bit.
And that could just be the line you're on, where you're broadcasting from.
You're stable right now. Okay. There's a new.
There's some questions that came in.
Okay. There's a new group, and I guess they're on YouTube, and they come out with some supposed secrets, and they're guardians of the looking glass, and they don't, secret group. And Wendy's wondering if this is kind of the real deal. It's kind of like an anonymous thing. Are they just a bunch of trolls, like a QAnon thing? What are they?
Okay.
I guess there is a YouTube page.
Okay.
I was Googling it, and there's a article on the medium.com. So it says something about there's scenarios based on the existence of portals through the looking glass, which quantum computers attached to ancient Sumerian devices enable the view of probable certainties in the future. And they posted like 5 different secrets, per se. Kind of sounds, weird, but we'll see.
Okay, so the questions that came in, Scott, are at 9:59. There's a couple of
Okay.
them at 9:59.
With lots of injuries.
Silly thing. 9:59. Okay.
I'll be right back. I have to.
Ian, DeSantis is a fart and a trance and a total clown. Thank you. You're such a jokester. I love it.
In a nutshell.
So are we asking about the Guardians right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a bunch of BS.
Well, okay, what I got, I'm going to talk to tech support about it because he knows about all the people that use machines to get into everywhere. That's my son who does high-end tech stuff. But my first card is stand up for yourself and that they are getting messages from somewhere. I don't know that their grand description is exactly what it is, but it says they have confidence and they challenge those in power and they're going to do their battling wisely. That's their in card. And then they're making connections to the right people.
Hmm.
And it says embrace things, many choices. And it's some of these guys probably were black hats at one time because it said they're recovering from being in a bad space. So if they were black hat hackers, they can get into stuff you can't even imagine. But then it says right now they're learning how to balance and to pull this together, and this may become a real thing.
Wow.
And I, like I said, I know a bit about that world because my son is what you would call a white hat. He can get into anything, but he doesn't go in looking for bad stuff. At least he doesn't tell me he does, and he's too old now for me to do anything about it. But he companies hire him to keep those sorts of folks out of their stuff. It's a very technical world out there.
Huh. Find yours, Deb?
Well, I missed the description of what you were describing of who these people are.
Well, just figure out if they're, QAnon or actual trying to bring out some kind of good thing.
Oh, so you want to know who these people like?
Yeah, who are these people?
Okay. Well, it looks like it's similar. It has a similar feel to Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that they are extremely devoted to this. This is something that they've created, and it's inspired in. I feel like, from what the cards, and I'm just doing because again, I don't know anything.
Yeah, you go, girl.
I feel like, I feel like their whole thing is truth and justice. I feel that that's one of their main things is truth and justice, and they're actually sifting through what might look untrue, but that's their thing. They are literally the King of Cups. They're mature, reliable. This is it looks like a true thing here. And very visionary for the future. And whatever they're bringing forth, it's all about justice and balance and fairness. So that's something without knowing who.
Right. I am not getting a QAnon conspiracy type group either. They might be something to watch.
I'll be right back.
I also had the Ace of Cups too. And I have Hugging You connected with that with your deck. So that would suggest it's a source of better knowledge kind of feeling. And then I have the Knight of Coins next with the snake using my cards, debit cards. The Knight of Coins is bringing information, going with the flow, and then the snake is kind of like a distraction card, though. Be careful of the information setting out. Use your own resonance. And then I have the Stork and Light, bringing things to light, bringing in information. And the Stork is positive change, transmissions, trendsetters, making progress. So it looks good. It's like they don't seem to be a QAnon type misinformation group, according to these cards. Just use your own resonance and, fight through the BS if you do watch, because I did have what they bring out could be misinformation too with the snake.
Mm-hmm.
So, but generally, I have a good feeling about it. It doesn't feel like QAnon intent of misinformation.
Well, it doesn't have QAnon's intent as to what it wants to finally prove, but you have to understand we all speak from our own set of prejudices. So you got to watch
Right,
what you
right.
listen. I had a woman come to me for a reading one time, and I'm not telling tales out of school because I said I'm going to tell people you talk to me. Her whole thing was to learn how to become a tarot reader that would support the right because she thought that's where all the money was. So she was going to read everything to the right. And I told her good luck with that, and I've never even looked to see if she finally set up her channel.
Good morning, Keith. All right.
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee. So if you want to check it out, see what information they have, that looking glass.
Yeah, and if you go there and you look at their stuff and you think it's worth looking at, tell them you heard it here. Tell them you heard it from the three of us.
There you go.
I mean, spread the joy.
Spread the joy. Amen.
Okay. Let's get off a quick topic here. Joy is asking, how do you stay in the light when your physical boat is rocking?
Hi, Joy. Yeah. Sometimes sometimes it's just about finding that space of love that can envelop you, and sitting in that energy of love. We have expectations that if we're not feeling joy or happy or like that we're out of alignment with the light, but that's not necessarily true. You can be in the light, and when you said the physical boat is rocking when there's things happening, you can be in the light even if you're not feeling that joy. That's why I'm asking you to search for that energy of love. Love encompasses all. Love meets you in grief. Love meets you in hardships and like that. So that love is light. So that's what I have with that.
Okay, what I pulled is my end card is the sun. And in the case of this sun, it says to accept the divine sunlight, to understand it. Plans will work out perfectly if you give your gratitude to the divine. But how do you do that? You take the next step. You don't say, oh, is that right or not? Am I right or not? Get rid of all of those voices in your head that say to you that you shouldn't move forward. Because part of we're going to the light. It's not going to come land on us. Okay. We got to work towards it. And then the way to work towards it is to release. Can you say the word release?
Yeah.
To go up and talk to your higher spirits. The few times when I've gotten to that point, if you listen to Joe Dispenza, where he talks about you cross and you quit being matter and you become the energetic wave that you really are. I've had that happen a few times, and he's right. It's a totally addictive thing. You keep working towards it. But it's not a hard journey. The hardest part of that whole journey is letting go of your ego and understanding that we're all just energy, and that all the things that hold us from feeling all the energy inside ourselves is the physical platform that's been trained to be here. Does that make sense?
Yes. And
Yep.
my cards are backing exactly what you said.
Right.
Yeah.
And for all of y'all out there.
Right.
Yep.
I got the sun too.
We all got the sun.
And the sun is the energy, the sort of photonic energy from the sun is what's shifting us all. That's why we all feel uncomfortable. We're all getting more subatomic particles in our body than we've had in 1,200 years on this
Oh,
planet. And that's part of the ley lines and the other stuff that I study. And I can feel it in my crystals. I have crystals that every time we go through a major energetic shift, it's right here. When I first got this crystal, it had no deflections in it at all. It was clear. It now looks like somebody went inside it and smashed it up like an ice cube. Every
wow.
time we go through a deflection, it changes. I always pull it out. You can see it in your own quartz crystals. You'll think, oh, that used to be really clear. Oh, I don't remember that little line being in there. That little line is the universe shifting it. And that's quartz. Now, that's hard stuff. So you can imagine what it's doing to you.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah,
if you
I thought it was just getting banged around.
No, that's inside. You could go throw that off a roof and it might shatter, but it's, won't do that.
so if you've watched anything with reports of what NASA looks at and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
there has been a lot of solar flare activity lately.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the explosions, all that energy coming from the sun.
Mhm.
Something like 1,000 more than 10 years ago.
Yes. So anyway, what I got with my card throw, and it connects with what I was sensing. I got the eagle, sun, and 5 of coins.
Right?
Whatever is going on, you can find your strength. I mean, it's all energy. When you're feeling off, whatever, you can release, like you said. You know, if it's about emotional things, have a good cry and release it out.
Mm-hmm.
Go in the corner and just like, release it out, come back to spirit, the sun. But you can also use the earth or crystals, meditating crystals, or go out and meditate in the earth. Let the earth take that energy. Let the crystals in the universe take that energy. If your body's just feeling, sit in safe space and let that energy, the earth take that negative energy or whatnot. This morning, for some reason, I woke up, my back was aching. I don't know if I slept wrong, whatever, and it's gone right now. I just let it go. I got in a quick meditative space before coming on here. I went outside, walked in the grass,
Yeah.
did a little shimmy, let it go. Whatever was going on. I could have been astral traveling. Who knows? I never get told. But let it go. And that's all part of the ego. It's our environment. We just take this energy in from our environment, sun, people, whatever, and that's where we get the aches and pains and off-kiltered moments. Little meditation and let it go. Whoop whoop. Okay.
Thank you, Joy, for your question.
Where do we want to go? I don't want to get too intense, too quick. Okay, let's go with that one. And thank you for all your questions.
Hi, Deanne.
Good morning, Deanne. How close are you to Deanne? Is she in Florida?
I don't know. Is she in Florida?
According to, I think so. DFL, Florida, maybe? I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway.
I didn't know that's what that meant.
I'm pretty sure, but she'll let us know. Anyhow, energy for next year. Is the universe going to move in a positive direction? Get rid of the negativity going around. So we have the
Yeah, so what I'm
fighting back, coronavirus, inflation, everything going on.
So a better year, what I'm hearing from my guides, it's kind of perspective. So a better year, yes, a better year not necessarily. So because it's your perspective on what a better year is to, like, what makes a better year. Does a better year mean no more chaos in the political realm, like that? Does a better year mean, what does a better year look like? Because some of the challenges we're facing this year are for the betterment of us. So it feels hard. It may feel hard. It may look hard, but it actually is a better year. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
What I get
I'm
is,
throwing down. You get what I'm throwing down?
right.
Oh, yeah.
I get
Definitely.
what happened is we started with a lot of people in conflict, and they're just almost in conflict with themselves. They're almost arguing with the mirror. They're not really paying attention. They're throwing out a lot of fire, and they're getting nowhere. And then this year brings forth someone that creates, inspires people wanting that sense of balance, them just craving to get back to it and moving in a positive direction. And then what I finish with is people unifying and coming together in peace and in joy, working towards common goals. So I think the next year is going to be better. And not to give up on the people you love, but don't hang on to the people who hate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get where you're going at with Debbie, because if you're going by person to person, what's your reality of better? So I'm putting out the atmosphere as is throughout the America. We had division.
Mm-hmm.
We have, no one talking properly between the GOP and at least in public. And we have coronavirus. We have inflation. Things are going higher. We have gas prices. Everyone's trying to get back into the real world of life and figure out their destiny. So I have the Queen of Swords and the Nine of Wands here, starting out. So that's kind of like the letting go of the negativity that's been brewing the last 4 years, and preparing for a different state. There is going to be celebrating differently with the Three of Cups and the Star. It's a celebration and hope and change coming through. I think I see changes.
Mm-hmm.
The economy, with everything as a whole, with strength in the six of coins, and strength as an outcome here, and that's giving and receiving, and better flow of money, and inner strength and more unity. So I see next year, according to this throw, a better focus on the future. It could have to do with justice. It could have to do with better people in government getting actual bills passed that are better, because we don't have the vote bill. We don't have another Build Back Better passed yet. We don't have abortion ratified yet. So there's a lot of movement.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be better. I'm feeling better.
I absolutely feel like we're moving towards better, that it will get better as we step into alignment. I think that last question is really good with this one as well. Personal alignment, global alignment. Right now, I feel like what I was tapping into a little bit is that shifting. You know how you put stuff and you shift through the what is that shifting? What is that, Nancy? Where you shift through the shaft stuff?
The sifters?
Yeah, you
And
you're
you weed out big stones, little stones.
yeah, like that, and you do it with wheat too.
Mm-hmm.
That's happening right now to us. That's what's happening, but it's all good because you want to do that. But it's not comfortable when it's happening, right? But we are moving towards a healthy, grounded, like this long-term change, right? So, yeah, I feel that we are moving in that direction. Yep. What is that called? Seminole? No.
Yeah.
Oh, wheat and the chaff. That's what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Dorian. But I feel like there's something that's called. Anyway, that's what they were showing me. Yippee! Yay, Deanne.
This might go along with what we're experiencing in this read.
Wheat from the chaff. Thank you, Jean. What's that sound?
That is my washing machine. It just went
Oh,
on.
because I thought I didn't start the laundry here.
It's the weirdest machine, and I don't know how to turn that sucker off.
Mine does the same thing, Jean, and I can't get. It's like, oh my goodness, when is the song going to stop?
Unfortunately, I live in a house with 3 grown adults, and we have to do things on Sundays, so like laundry. Okay, what's in the increase in prepping videos and survival videos?
I really wouldn't take much stock in it.
Well, you know,
I don't sense it at all. There's, at least here in Wisconsin, there is no shortage.
Mm-hmm.
Gas prices are a little high, but there's no problems with food, no problems with stuff that you need. Water is plentiful. All that.
Whenever I see those things, all I think about is Y2K. All the people I know who took some room of their house and maybe a year ago finished clearing out the crap they built up.
Yeah, this is silly. Ignore that stuff.
You make money.
Ignore this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course, there may be supply problems with higher residential areas, LA, whatever. There might be a few shortages, but as a whole, we're okay.
Well, no, you could come to Texas and have your governor stop 80% of your food.
Well, yeah, true.
But that's artificial, dears. That's not because the universe made it. It's because I won't call our governor what I call him because it's a slam at people with disabilities. But our governor needs to roll to some new place.
I believe Beto's going to take it.
Well, he's working for it, I tell you.
He's a working man. I mean, he's got the same energy as Stacey Abrams. He gets out there. He makes things happen.
He's the closest thing I've ever seen to Obama in a meeting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just said, I'm here and I'm here for you, and he's totally focused. It's very incredible.
Yeah, I do feel that in times like what's happening, we're seeing it happening in the Ukraine, yet you have people here preparing and digging holes and going underground and doing, all the things that they do. We always have that part of, but I liked what people were saying, fear sells. So if they're trying to sell something, then they're gonna dive into this. You see a lot more people going to the gun range or doing these things during this type of thing. It stirs something up in them, feel helpless. And so what way can they gain back personal power is these types of things, preparing, so that gives them some power back, because we feel so powerless. And so that makes sense. And this happens all the time. It cycles. It just does with whatever's happening in the world.
Yeah, it's like the old saying, fear sells. Just do not watch that stuff. It brings down your energy. It brings in bad thoughts. for yourselves. Unless you're experiencing anything weird in your own life, then maybe question it. It's the part of lack. So as far as that questioning goes, I got Ace of Wands, Page of Coins, and Five of Swords. Walk away from that nonsense. Basically, what that's telling me. Take your own action. Walk away from any mischievous stuff. Leave that fear-based energy, like Kevin just said, out. It's mixed messages. It's walk away from it. Anything weird. I mean, even I used to watch Anonymous once in a while on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
They've turned QAnon a little bit. This Anonymous channel. I deleted it. I mean, like, what kind of nonsense? They're like, they just been putting out like fear-based stuff, and like nonsense. I deleted it. I'm not buying into that stuff anymore. It's like, oh, you got to watch out. This is happening, or that kind of stuff. I'm like, that's not positive. So I walked away from them. All right. Next. All right. How deep we want to get into?
Okay, where we going?
Ooh.
Let's start with this.
Hi, sweetie darling.
The big news.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin McCarthy's tapes. The question is about who leaked them. Liz Cheney said, I didn't leak them. And who's the other one?
Staffer leaked them.
Yeah, that's what I believe too. So you want to toss some cards on the energy of it, or just go with what you say?
Sure.
We'll back it up with some
But I
cards.
believe
I'm
that
gonna
too.
pull a color card for the consciousness of that person that's leaking it.
But the problem is too, and I seen this on Twitter. It's unconscionable about these people writing all these books and knowing for a year about this secret information. On the backside, because they know they recorded it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even Bob Woodward,
Mm-hmm.
all the people that died of the misinformation of COVID, and he knew
Mm-hmm.
about everything, and then waited to sell his book. He's just as culpable as everyone else. It's sad.
I just pulled one card about the consciousness of the person, and it's a color card. And it's gold, which means to attract abundance, but gold provides clarity in decision making, attracting abundance, expanding awareness, clearing the path to wisdom and knowledge and joy. It strengthens all fields of the body and spirit to attract abundance, focus, and then it goes into that part of it. But I think the reason this person did it was the end of that statement, to clearing the path to wisdom and knowledge and joy, so that it wasn't, well, we said McCarthy said this and McCarthy lied. I mean, it's to open everybody's eyes up. Even his supporters, I don't know if they're going to say they got a voice artist to be him, but I mean, they'll go to any lengths. But if you say it, you should own it and just say that's what happened. And it just shows the whole base of lies, that what they're working with.
No, they didn't. There was no knowledge or say who leaked it, who recorded it.
Mm-mm.
It's all confidential. And these guys that wrote the book are saying they're going to bring out more tapes that they heard.
So when I was looking, I wanted to see from the person's eyes, and I felt like I was a female.
Mm-hmm.
So then I threw some cards, and I have a female leaker.
Oh, a snake.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all you got? You got some more?
Oh, no, that's it.
Okay.
It's really simple. I mean, they did a good action, and now.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is pretty late, but it has to do with the former guy and changing the path. That is why, especially after January 6th. I think there's a lot of tapes started rolling. Protecting self, wanting change. This is nonsense. And it has to do with the former guy. The King of Coins is my former guy card, and the Wheel of Fortune card, creating change. You know, it's also, I combined the World and Wheel of Fortune are basically the same card, right? So it's a circle of life, fate, karma, cycles, changing. And the former guy card. This person was doing it in secret with the Hermit. This is the Hermit Fool card, basically. So you're making a spiritual change, but in the shadows yet. And this action is going to create complete change within. I mean, this is not just one incident. This is a whole, right?
Right.
What I'm saying. Ace of Wands, Justice, and Tower. This action. So the Ace of Wands is like powerful actions, taking charge, right? And then we have, the Justice card kind of feeling. Balancing, changing, proper actions, which will cause drastic change. Failures of people that are actually recorded. It's going to bring down the GOP, is my sense.
So I asked why she, chose to do that. I mean, it's kind of like it's dangerous for her, And there was seen injustice and lies, and she within where she worked, and she wanted to bring clarity to the lies. She was wrapped up inside of it and wanted to bring clarity. The word that came to me when I asked that question was injustice. She was wrapped up and seen injustice, and this is what she could do.
Behind the scene, oh yeah. Ooh. Hypnicity. I worked with Bill Barr. Opportunist personified. Whoa. That's some inside info.
That's what we feel every time we tap into him, right, Nancy?
I mean, why they even let him back near the government after what he did with Iran-Contra is just amazing. Which is exactly why they let him back in. He'll do anything.
Okay, I got that one. All right, let's flip over to MTG.
Do we have to?
Marjorie Taylor.
I listen to a talk radio that's a liberal one, and they call her Sporkfoot.
So I was analyzing her a little bit. There was a couple weird things that I seen on Twitter and her video. People caught a earpiece. So like someone was feeding her answers or whatever. Don't answer that. Whatever. And then also there was one point that she was, and it was really weird that Matt Gaetz was there. Why? But he was there, and she kept looking at him. And there was this one point she drank some water, and she looked at Matt Gaetz' way, and then she went like this, like cut. She did 2 swipes, and then she drank her water, and she looked right at Gaetz. I'm like, what the heck could that be? It's really strange, but anyway, I mean, all she did was say, I don't remember, so got to fight through the lies. And I guess the judge will give recommendations and then give it to Raffensperger, Secretary of State, to proceed from there.
Oh, everybody's saying they saw it. Yeah. Lisa saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really strange. I mean, those little clips, those little.
Gates was wearing a bulletproof vest.
Yeah, Gates was wearing a bulletproof vest. Yeah, you can see it through his jacket when he leaned over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Why would he need a bulletproof vest? Huh?
Well, hi, Deb. All right. Let's see.
All right.
Let's put Marjorie.
So we know what we're talking about. The whole hearing moving forward. Man, person, woman, TV, camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
Katie. I think I'm going to do 3 cards from 3 different decks. Yeah. Much love and light, Deb. Okay. MTG moving forward.
All right.
Ooh.
Will she be reelected?
Strange. I don't know if the 3 is going to work for me. I got to look at this more. Trader. Okay.
I. Deanne, remember now, America will have a better year this year. Will Marjorie be reelected?
Yes. Okay. This is a really weird throw. I'm trying to.
I laid one out and it made no sense.
Yeah, I'm getting all over too.
I was hoping it would say something about investigations or, bringing people down. No, it's telling a different story, and I've got to figure this out here.
I don't think the judge knows yet what he's going to do. I don't think he knows what he's going to refer forward. I think he's as confused as everybody else about what he saw in that courtroom. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting people brought information to the higher power, and he's sitting there and he's going, well, she's very confused, but his dilemma is, should the people of that area be denied looking at her as a candidate? Should they take that away? He's not looking at the issue of, did she help with the insurrection? Because I'm not sure that was made plain enough.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the hearing. I mean, I think my gut level tells me that I don't know how anyone could ignore the fact she's up to her eyeballs in this stuff. But if it's in a courtroom where it's supposed to be evidentiary, the evidence may not have been there. I think it's a very confused, mucked up mess.
Yeah, I think so too. So
they need to get somebody on this solidly. They can't get it on a kind of maybe shoulda, woulda, coulda. They need to have it solid because they're setting the precedence. This has never been used before to keep someone from running.
Yeah.
They've got several of those cases floating around.
So I got the King of Coins.
Mm-hmm.
which feels like the judge.
Mm-hmm.
Clouds.
Mm-hmm.
That feels kind of like confusion, right? Right,
Mm-hmm.
Debbie?
Yeah.
Unpredictable. What is he going to do? I think
Yeah.
you're correct there. He doesn't know exactly what he's going to do. That's, confusion, unclear. And then I have the privileged lady, which would mean like MTG thinks she's above law,
Oh,
kind
absolutely.
of feeling. So then I got next coming in King of Cups energy, all
Mm-hmm.
that powerful love and properness coming in, along with the Debbie card, the
Freebird.
Freebird card, all the empathetic, magical healer, along with the marriage card. So that's a lot of loving and proper energy coming in after the original unsure. In the end, I think the proper thing is going to happen. I think it's going to be up to Rathensberger. Their judge will move it forward because I have like the whistleblower, everything on the web, everything because all she did was say, "I don't remember." I think that's where the confusion is. She didn't
Mm-hmm.
admit to anything, but everything's on the web. Everything she said with the Page of Wands, everything that's come out,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have surrender, release all false narratives. You're spreading your wings. So the BS she put out doesn't matter. And then I have the hard work coming in, toil and labor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it feels confusing. It's kind of like, well, it doesn't tell you. It's a work in progress of all these false narratives and people that have been lying and putting this out. It's like, we got to put it all together. But eventually, I think sensing justice will be served here. That either she gets blown up in a DOJ, investigation, and that she can't go on, or Rathensberger will say, yeah, she's not on because we have the info in plain sight beyond what she said. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an unclear energy of what's going on. There's still a lot of things to play out. So, but eventually, I feel there's going to be justice going to be served in the end. Is my sense.
Well, yeah, I have this conflict, ongoing battle. You see that she's betrayed. She's betrayed people. She's not a great person, guys. Obviously, you all know that. But it's still for me. I'm getting an like not to worry, but we're going to watch a lot of this play out. So if she does get elected or whatever, it may be down the road that she may be sitting in that seat and then being walked out or whatever, like because of what is presented later, treason or like that. But this is ongoing. We're seeing that, and her connection to things. So either way, like Deanne said, this is a good year. So we're going to watch this play out, and either way, she will be gone at the end of the day.
What I asked was not if she was. What I asked is, would she get elected again? And I got
Right.
her standing on her head, which is a no, because she's imbalanced. And then it says rule of law takes over. The form takes over. The rulers, the emperor, the organization takes over, and people want peace in the family. I think her own district goes against her because they realize she's done nothing for them. I think the guy who's running against her is running with the idea, his whole campaign is you're not getting any constituent services. She does not even have an office in her district, her congressional district. That's unheard of. You at least put two people sitting in the office that don't answer the phones. I mean, really.
I mean, she's not even on. She's been taken off any committees too.
She
She
well,
doesn't. She does
she's
nothing.
she's powerless except to raise money for the Republicans that run around and cause trouble. So
Pretty much.
And people like that chaos. So people
there are some that do, but we used to like it. There's a lot of people around me in Texas who used to like it and say, "Well, they're not doing anything against us," until they're not doing anything for you, and it happens long enough. And I live in a very conservative area that's gone blue because they got tired of nothing ever happening. That was right. So it can change.
Thank you,
Oh,
Mark.
bless you, Mark. You're so sweet.
Love,
And
love
Gigi
it,
can't
Mark.
remember who she is. Um, Big question. No, I just threw up there quick
Okay.
with treason. So
Mhm.
that's something that's rarely ever happened, right? That's like selling secrets against your government.
But it has to be in a time of war, and when they did this, we weren't in a time of war. What they're going to have, it would be sedition. It would be high level sedition. We cannot get them for treason, so that's already a no. I mean, that's
Yeah,
just what the law says. That's what the black letter law says. But I know what you mean. Will they be caught for selling out the government? And they should be because they've been doing it for years through the money from the NRA. But
right. I mean, even Kushner selling secrets or giving you know something. Thank you, Dab.
Thank you, Deb. Blessings.
If anyone's going to get close to treason, I really feel like Kushner's there, really
mhm.
close, because I truly sense that he gave Saudi quite a bit of intel, let alone maybe even free weapons. Who knows? But what
So
anyone,
yeah, so if sedition is the word, then I'm saying
Yes,
yes, that they are absolutely going. That's what they're going for. That's
right.
what they're doing. I do feel, and I do feel they are going for that um, yeah, for some some of them in particular. Yeah. So I absolutely hear that. I see it. Judgment is coming. Um, yeah. So some people who maybe missed the opportunity to, because they were offering, we'll give you this, we'll take this off the table if you tell us and give us
Mhm.
information. Some of that's been missed, but I feel like whoever said Jared, possibility there with the Knight of Cups coming in there, but they definitely are. It'll be more than just him, and I think a lot of people are worried about this coming down on them. You have the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords as that comes. So yeah, so absolutely yes, sedition is on the table. That's what they are. That's what's taking so long, guys.
yeah,
This to
they're
stick.
they're putting together like a RICO case of everyone who's involved, and basically what they did, the Proud Boys there, sedition conspiracy of those who coordinated up to the event. Now the DOJ, I believe, is working on who coordinated within, like Meadows
Mhm.
and some um, representatives
Mhm.
that were all in the loop pushing forward this narrative. So we got, like MTG, Bobert, Jim Jordan, Scott Perry, uh, Gozar, Andy
Mhm.
Biggs, all those guys. They were all in a loop pushing forward this narrative. And you have a ringleader of Mark Meadows
Mhm.
coordinating it all together, pushing the narratives. Then you have lawyers like Eastman, Clark. Who's the other ones? There's a couple others.
The
They're
crack
all,
addict crazy lady.
yeah. Oh, yeah. And you got all these lawyers too. Rudy, the Kraken lady, Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis.
Is there's
So
so
many
many
people.
there's so many crazy ladies to pull from, Gene. Are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. I know. Um, One person said in here, was Afghanistan not considered a war? No, it was not. Because it was not a declared war. It was not declared by Congress. That's the difference. We have not been in a declared war since the World War II. Even Korea was listed as a police action. So when y'all, it's very, I mean, the law says it's like bup, and even with the crazy ass Supreme Court we have now, they would read it that way. You have to be at war, and I agree, it's totally wrong. But um, I think that it 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 looks like people are going to go down for sedition because the country needs it. The country needs to go back to a way to nurture its people.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Jean. She gave us a beautiful donation. Thank you. Blessings to you, Jean.
Oh, yeah.
You missed it, Scott.
I saw it go by quickly.
Yeah. Where is it? Oh, Gene Miller. Bless you.
Don Jr. is going down as well.
Oh yeah, in one way or another.
Don Jr. has to live long enough, guys. I don't know if you've seen that person recently, but
Yeah, he's
back in my younger years when I had friends who did adventurous things with other chemical substances, I saw them go down that road, and it doesn't have a pretty ending. There's no good end at the end of it.
yeah. So my card toss is saying no. I don't see sedition, but there will be some kind of conspiracy altogether with Knight of Coins and the Wheel of Fortune. Have patience. These indictments or whatnot will come to pass. They're getting their own with that Wheel of Fortune. It will come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of the biggest hit will be their future, their finances with the Five of Coins. It's all going to affect everything. They're going to lose their future. They're going to lose their finances. They're going to be pariahs. And I have a King of Swords, which is feeling like a Merrick Garland feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Three of Wands, King of Swords, and Judgment. He's just putting it all together, finding out all the connections, putting it all together. There will be judgment upon, but that's not showing like a treason. So it's like high order. So I would be seeing, like a tower, a 10 of swords, a 10 of wands, a completion of that. But judgment will be upon them. But I don't see a treason going down.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I've always from the get-go first asked about Don Jr. It could be tying back to the Mueller report too, but I was seeing a deal of like 4 to 5 years prison time for him.
There's a question on here: Marine Le Pen versus Emmanuel Macron. That election's this weekend.
It's right now. It's today, right?
It's now.
It's
happening
today.
Right now. Yeah.
They vote on Sunday, much to the misalignment of the Catholic Church there, but they did that years ago.
I did want to say something really quick about Don Jr. while
Go for it.
we're kind of there. He thinks he's invincible, but of course you do when you're like that, and that's kind of what he wants to show, that persona that he's invincible. But we're seeing this play out. We're going to watch this play out publicly, truly, and we're going to be hearing. Well, I feel like we're going to be hearing, and it's going to play out publicly, kind of his downfall. It's coming to an end. His little.
Mm-hmm.
We keep.
Oh, what the heck? He was promoting. Well, I don't know. He was doing some videos about promoting something. Oh, he wanted everyone to give a bunch of money to be part of a Trump fan club kind of thing. Trump Gold Card. Give us $50 and you get to get this little Trump Gold Card and membership. They're always trying to grift somehow.
Well, the Democrats raised more in the last quarter than they've ever raised ever.
Nice.
And y'all, it doesn't matter if it's $5, and I know we'd love to get it, but honest to God, Dems, every dollar helps. You can't win a campaign without money. And I know for a fact they're spending all the money right now on getting people to go door to door on the ground, which is the most effective way to campaign. So
Really?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. The people, what will make people vote is meeting the candidate. The second one is having a neighbor come and talk to them about why they're supporting them, and then having the neighbor encourage them to go vote. And the third way is if just someone from your neighborhood that you may not know but that lives near you shows up on your doorstep and you realize they took their time to come support that candidate. Trust me, there's a whole science to this, and I used to work in it. That's how Obama won. He sent people out in the streets,
Wow.
and in Texas, it's every weekend for months. We've had people going out in all over all the different counties. So
Beautiful, Gigi.
so what I'm going to pull one card for um, France for what's going on there.
Well, I still got Macron winning. King of Wands, and then the Nine of Coins.
Mm-hmm.
He brings it all together, and then here's people coming out to vote with the Page of Coins. And then I have the Two of Cups and the Temperance Angel coming in. So his partnership, Two of Cups, his partnership stays. So I don't see it as far as him losing.
And I'm just pulling a color card for the whole country.
Aaron.
And it's green. Beautiful, beautiful green. And that means to rejuvenate your entire system, revitalize. I think there's been so much tension in that country about her and the stuff she's stirring up. And the last statement on this is divine intelligence, please release all the pressure and stress from our heart and nervous system and fill me up with the new light. I think he's going to win.
I do.
Good deal.
I read on this before, and I didn't know anything about either one. I didn't know the history. Nothing. I just got two names. People asked. I'm like, I didn't even know, female and male. But I did tap into I just tapped into her energy, and I'm like, who is this? It's horrible, like horrific. I felt sick to my horrible. Not a good person. Didn't like it. Anyway, in that reading, I did get that she was not going to win, and I again am getting that she's not going to win.
Yeah.
And then here's a card for him.
Oh, 5 by now.
He has the stars. So still, the energy is still flowing that direction. So hopefully everybody's getting out there and voting. I feel like also the blanket of media over the last few days helped him in regards to,
they cut him off 48 hours before the election. They can't campaign. They can't write about it. They can't say crap. They can't say we have a new poll, it says. And trust me, I wish we did that here, because so many campaigns that are really close are lost in the last 2 days when a charge comes up that no one can inspect or find out if it's real or not. And even if people ought to be smart enough to know it's not real, it still tears at the back of your mind. If you get some claim of someone, it's like the one they tried to put up on Bush where he'd been arrested for drunk driving at the very end.
Right.
He had no chance to respond to it, but he was too far ahead for it to do much harm.
But you have like the mass Twitter, they blanketed all the social media with her shaking hands with Putin, and there's just so much of that. And I feel like that did not help her at all.
Oh, no. Well, she had to destroy 1 million pieces of campaign literature because it had that picture of her with Putin. And after the war started in Ukraine, and France had enough people who could remember hearing stories of when their family farm got taken over by German soldiers, it didn't win her any friends. I mean, you don't destroy 1 million pieces of campaign literature unless it's that. I mean, they destroyed it. They didn't want anybody even see it. But a few hundred of them got snuck out of the pile. So,
Aw, too bad. I mean, it's even like,
Deb.
she's being what do you call it? She's being investigated for funds and whatnot. I mean, like, how can
Yeah.
these people even be on the ballot?
Well, her father's a fascist. And I mean,
Right.
and then now her story is, well, Daddy and I don't talk to each other. Yeah. So you threw out your 92-year-old father to win a political office? Really? That's a person you want running your country.
It's even like, what is it? Who is Paxton to you? Is he the lieutenant general or what is he?
Who?
Ken Paxton?
Oh, Ken. Oh, God. What a piece of sludge. Yes.
I know. How can he be in government when he's been under indictment or whatever?
Now he's been indicted for 5 years, and then his whole staff left when they caught him selling out stuff to other people, and that's all. But the thing is, with the courts we have, you can't get it passed. This is, guys, you really need to vote locally. If we can turn Texas blue, we can get rid of all this crap about having to worry about the other states in the electoral college. If we can get Texas blue and we can get some of this crap out of the way, you guys have no idea. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I kept sitting in there and fighting.
Yeah. Well, Texas and Florida.
I'm talking about that thing I don't talk about, but God, these guys are creeps. And I've met all of them personally.
Yeah. I mean, Texas and Florida are right on that cusp of.
Well, if Texas goes, it doesn't matter what the heck. The whole place can go down with DeSantis. Texas is
true.
And it happened in 2002. In 2000, Democrats controlled the House and they redistricted. And in 2002, when George Bush got elected governor, they came in, he and Karl Rove, his brain, came in and they said, well, that redistricting wasn't done right. And the Supreme Court actually let them redistrict our state out of the year when it should happen. And that's when they cut it up and started. There's two ways to gerrymander: to pack, which is to put all the minorities or a certain voting group in one area, or to crack. And cracks where you split them up so they're so splintered they don't have a power structure. There was no way, because so many people have become Democrats really in this state, they can't pack anymore. So this last attempt at redistricting is to crack, and it's not working. I have friends who work with the numbers, and they're going into areas where the Republicans think they had the numbers, but they didn't look at the numbers closely enough to realize that over 12% of the new voters were young women between the ages of 18 and 35, which means they're not going to vote for a Republican. They know what they're doing to us. So I think people are going to be amazed at this state, but it doesn't mean that anyone should ever give up. But it means you also need to vote for the lieutenant governor and the other people, because the lieutenant governor in this state runs the government. And I'll stop now. Nobody wanted a political theory on Texas today, least of all me.
Okay, so we've been throwing it out there that we have this group of people that are linked in with Meadows, trying to overthrow our government, bringing out these ideas, forwarding emails, being in meetings. Will basically Department of Justice force them to resign or have something on them, or plea deals, or are they going to get voted out, or will this continue? Oh, let's try this. Isn't that crazy, Marie? 5 years waiting on prosecution. Unreal. Okay.
So people who are wrapped up, some of these GOP House and senators, whatever, that are wrapped up and caught up in this, following the puppet master, yeah, they definitely are going to be asked to leave. You have this circus, brokenhearted circus club. Yeah, so I do feel those people who are wrapped up, and we're going to see it play out in the House and Senate. That's kind of what I was talking about Marjorie Greene.
Right.
If she is reelected, she will be caught in this madness later.
What I see, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. What I see is they think they've gotten away scot-free, but they actually haven't. The Queen of Swords is coming for them. She's just coming really slowly. The way they're going to get them is by tying them to the money, that because they tied them to the money, they know they weren't working for their own district. And that's when the magician's going to come in and change everything. So I don't think they're going to get all of them, but I think they're going to get most of them. And the ones they're going to get most of all are the ones that were tied to the money, because that's the clearest trail.
Mm-hmm. And we're moving towards positive change, guys. We are moving that direction. So just as a side note.
All right. I'm using Andrea's cards this time.
Good.
I combined everything, so there's like 100 and some. So I did 3 different drops.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
On the bottom of the deck, I have indictments coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So everything these GOP have done in the past with this card, this is her past card, everything documented from the past, change
Mm-hmm.
in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So things are moving forward. I was going into the GOP. Another 3. Here we have all the GOP involved. And then I have a no and the sun. I think things are coming to light. Meaning no, they will not be where they expected to be from the past. And I got everything will play out in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
I have Peace and Harmony card, which I put out. You will figure out what to believe. They will be leaving or fall. This is leave or fall. So it's going to play out. It's going to play out the way it's supposed to. And they will be held accountable, I believe. I didn't get a justice card except for that letter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, a lot of what do you call it? Like in Wisconsin, it isn't until August when you figure out who's in the primary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Some are playing out next month. It all depends where.
Right.
It all depends when these indictments or legal actions actually happen. And I don't believe like the DOJ, if they are going to do anything, they're going to stick to that rule of like 90 days before election.
No, they're not. It's going to be overwhelming.
No, I know that, but you think they would? You think the DOJ?
I think he will. I think he will, because Comey did. That opened the door. Nobody said anything. Nobody did anything. That's what they're hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
I think my instincts. This is my instincts. This is just what I've honed since the age of 12. My instincts tell me they're going to take off. I mean, they're going to start, and if they are not done by the 90 days to the election, they're going to go for them anyway.
Oh, I mean, I think the plan is to try to do it before August.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to. There's just not the time. You're old enough to remember Watergate? Are you?
I remember it, yeah, but
Okay,
I was
in my
only 4. I was only 4.
Okay, I was in my 20s, and it took 18 months to get all those people around Nixon to either be tried or for them to agree and to go in and be sentenced and to go into jail. Think about 18 months from January 6th, and they did it, and they had them on tape. I mean, people forget. They think, well, you read Watergate and you read it on one page of your history book. I lived through the months after Nixon resigned and watched all that happen. And I've actually sat down and talked to John Dean about that, because I met him years ago. And he found out I got to sit through every Watergate hearing twice. I was at PBS at the time. I listened during the day to figure out when we'd have the breaks. And I was there at night doing the breaks. And he came up and he kissed my hand. He said, "Oh, my dear woman, you sat through that twice." But he and I talked about it, and I talked about images I had from it. And he said, "You really sat through it." And he said, everybody kept coming up to him, and he'd already served his time and before the other ones even went into jail.
Wow.
So we have no idea how long justice takes. I mean, we just
That's what I keep saying.
don't have it in our mind. And I know patience is the least thing, that's my least well developed instinct.
Marie
Very
says,
true.
lemmings off the political cliff.
Right.
Marie, thank you.
Kim, oops, Kim is saying here, 18 months from January 6th is June.
Right.
Well,
And that's when they started really pulling them into court and trying them.
what was it? Well, Garland didn't even get in there till April or May, whenever it
Right.
was.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa Monaco didn't get in until like 2 weeks after that.
Right.
After she got in there, there was an indictment almost immediately. I can't remember who it is right now. I don't think they really got into everything until probably the fall of last year.
Well, I know for a fact from talking to people who work in that sphere of tracking down money that's international, the cryptocurrency things, that they were all over the cryptocurrency people almost immediately after Biden got in there, and they locked up those accounts so they could follow them.
Sure. I believe that, yeah. But we didn't technically have a functioning DOJ until.
No, but it is follow the money, so somebody has to hold those records.
Sure. So, I think it really blew up big
Mm-hmm.
once Meadows was indicted by the Jan 6, or
Yeah.
I mean, referred out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
That was 121 days ago.
right. That's when I feel the whole wheel started turning. It was big time then. I mean, I think it was like playing out, and it's like, because I just sense like that's why he wasn't referred for prosecution.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we can take him to the grand jury about this.
But the second you take them to the grand jury, then what you know about them is also known to their lawyers. That's why they don't do it.
So instead, they probably went to the grand jury with subpoenas, for his information, how to go, It's like, what's the point of having him, the center hub of everything for 45 in January 6th, and indicting him for contempt?
Right.
It's pointless.
Mm-hmm.
No, there's a question from Knowledge Equips, and I know we're running out of time, but are Trump's moles still in the DOJ, FBI, and Secret Service?
Oh, good point. There was reporting about the Secret
Thank you,
Service.
Marie, again.
Thank you, Marie.
Blessings. I love her comments.
So that was about that was just coming out too with these secret stuff about with Pence not wanting to get in the car.
Yeah, he was afraid. These guys could kill me.
Yeah, kill him, take him away. If he got in the car, who knows where these Secret Service guys would have taken him?
I think
Exactly, Aspie.
I think Pence knew he was doomed one way or the other,
Mm-hmm.
and he'd be burned if he let the government go that way, and he'd be burned. I mean, I swear it's the one time that God's light reached that man's heart. But
I know, right? So then if Pence was hauled away, then it would have been up to Grassley, I think. Would have been.
No, it would have been Speaker of the House. It would have been Nancy Pelosi would have been president.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. If Nancy was taken away,
Mm-hmm.
then it went to Grassley.
Right.
But that was the whole plan. Get rid of Pence and Nancy. All those guys were going in there. Nancy.
No.
Hang Pence and Nancy.
And they
and then get Grassley to do whatever he wanted to do to object.
Pence's key card was deactivated, so they were trying to
They're trying to trap him. All of them, they all deserve each other. Okay. Are Trump moles still in the DOJ and FBI? I got a no and a no. And I got a no because the institution understood that there were people that stayed within the institution to snitch on these guys. And it took a while to get them out. They're still moving forward on it. Not all the damage they did has been undone. but for the most part, they've cast them off, and it's stopped us from having some real tragic consequences if they had been allowed to stay in there. I think they've either been removed or they are put in a place where they can't cause any trouble.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, I agree with that completely. Yeah, they were definitely in there,
Oh yeah.
but they saw the writing on the wall, or they hot water the thief and then Inferno. They are stuck within this. They can't. So whatever you said, they're not. I got a no as well when I just tapped in. It's like no. And if they are stuck. Like they're not able to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I get here that the current DOJ or whatever has been putting out those feelers to get it straightened out. And if there was any evidence of support, I think they were brought in front of leadership and say, talk about partisanship. You do not do this. So, and I feel like with that card, they came in front of leadership and it's like, but I have a tower. So I put healing on this card, not the orange. And then I have chaos. And then I put this as like the tower moment that changes. So the chaos has slowly been changed.
Right.
But so like, that's how I feel like, okay, it's like a talking to. It's like, in the DOJ, FBI, Secret Service, there is no partisan, I'm like, they brought in front of them, leadership is like, if you're not going to act this way, you will be gone. Kind of feeling. So I think mostly they've been figuring out, it's kind of like little, what do you want to call it? Setups, to figure out where loyalty lies, within duty and service and country or partisanship. And you may be going away if you're not on the right side of the law. So, so there might be a few yet, but it feels like they've been definitely working on it to figure out the right path. So I think we'll go maybe 12 more minutes, stop at about 11:30.
Okay. Fine by me.
Sounds good.
All I have to do today is build grids. So.
Oh, grid away.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dennis wants us to go to Fox News.
Thank you, Sharon. Appreciate you.
Nancy Jean's Garden.
Yes, thank you for come over and visit the garden. We're going to talk about Fox News, but Tuesday at 1:00 I'm doing a live, and I'm talking about a quick tutorial on automatic writing.
Awesome. What happened to Fox? First being live.
Okay, two most important cards I did a Celtic Cross. I got that they're already separating themselves from a Murdoch, parts of the Murdoch family, and the whole organization is going to be in an incredible transition within the next year. And all the other cards between there shows they made a lot of money in the past. They want to keep making money. They think they're in fear of really getting thrown out of some places, some other countries, like they were basically out of Canada because they weren't making money, and they were curtailed in Australia. They're most afraid of losing the entire enterprise, but they're not doing it today. They're waiting quietly, but their first move is going to be to get rid of the pundits. And the clearest card for that is the transition card, which in a traditional deck, this would be death.
Yeah.
So the Murdoch son that's slowly taking over from Daddy is starting to really take over.
Yeah.
And what I was sensing was that
Huh.
I don't feel like they're going to go to jail for spewing lies,
No.
anybody, but I do. If someone's going to get in trouble, it's for something else, and we all know who that person is. I feel like they have to change as an organization, because the way they were doing is just not the way to go anymore in business. So they need to make that change. So if they, sorry about that. So if they go, if someone does go to jail, it's not for spewing lies, it's for other connection. There's another connection with this person, and with this man.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a possibility of his connections could possibly bring him some of that.
Right.
Yeah. But as a Fox News, the whole thing, I feel like they have to change. They will be changing, because the way they're going doesn't fit the industry needs anymore, or whatever. Follow the money.
Okay.
Cards everywhere.
Well, I'll go with the end here. I have a different change here for Fox News eventually. Hugging You and Journey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely a different path.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm getting here is that I got a main female in the clouds. And I remember looking up, there's actually a woman that controls Fox News behind the scenes. She's like the CEO.
Yes, there is a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been her, a clouded energy that controls what happens, basically. Murdoch's just the owner, right? He may have influence, of course, but this woman's the CEO. There may be another, it may be her, but I have going second, Don't Push the River, and the Privileged Lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she doesn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this is what makes money. We're going to stay with the flow until we can't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But the journey will be. So then I toss with my cards about prison or later. I am getting some will be in court. The government will bring somehow, our government with the farm here and the messaging, they will have some kind of justice or court coming up for what they've said and done. It may be something to do with the coronavirus lies or something, maybe, because what messaging did cause death and violence. So there might be something there. And then strength and love will overcome the harmony, bringing balance here with everything.
Because remember, they're not journalists. They're not really covered by the First Amendment.
True.
They're just a person on the street screaming fire.
There's got to be some accountability. We do have Dominion is suing them. There's other people.
That
I think
may be how they go, is they get sued out of existence, because that's not going to be cheap.
No, I there may be a class action. I think I've seen too about coronavirus, possibly. What they've pushed out there. I mean, do you know if the morning show is considered?
None of their shows are journalism. It's always been an entertainment network. No, if you look at how they're licensed, in another part of my life, I worked in broadcasting, and whether you were a journalistic station or like at PBS, we had to clearly state this was journalism and this was a documentary or something else. And that's when we had the fairness doctrine. I remember when the fairness doctrine went away, I went, this is nuts. Because I was around people who were journalists, and even though they called themselves journalists, I remember one time someone really didn't like a celebrity, and he said, "I'm going to follow this guy into the bathroom if that's what it takes to break him." And he tried to do it, and he came really close. It didn't work, and he ended up losing his university job. But there's a lot of ways to deal with that, and the fact that they just let your angry, crazy cousin loose with a camera to say things is like, that's not journalism. It's not. Anyway, are we done now, Scott?
Now we could do. Let's see what I have started.
You're running this show. I'm just sitting here.
Thank you, Melinda.
Yeah, I don't want to push anyone too late, and I don't want to.
Oh, yeah, I have nothing else to do but make.
I'm doing the card of the day, and then I'm
okay. Yeah, we can just. I guess what I had less starred was about Trump's visit to Ohio, Pompeo, and then EU on Ukraine. So that's big topics, except for 45 in Ohio. I don't really care about. Can we just do card of the day? Energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do have a full moon at the end of the week, guys. So be ready for it.
Coming.
Full moon.
And it's an eclipse on the 30th.
Really strange, though.
But you can't. You have to be in Antarctic to see it, which is why no one's making a big deal about it. But
I got a lot of loving energies today with your cards today, Debbie.
Hey.
You know, I got the clouds.
Yes, those are Debbie's wonderful cards.
Yeah, I got the clouds and hugging you quite often today. Wow. I was just putting them away, but I just remembered every time I used them, I usually got like hugging you, your card, and
depending on what it's saying, you could be wrapped up in something or connected into somebody, or
right.
a big hug. Yeah.
Generally, a hug would be moving forward a release, a good thing, you know. So let's see. I use these cards.
So my message coming in for everyone, I have the 7 of Wands there coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And I am enough. So I feel Spirit wants to tell you all, you've got this. You're staying on top of it. You've got this. That awareness that you bring in, that coming from your higher self. Even though the world comes at you, you have that higher perspective. You're coming from that higher alignment and soul self. So, yeah.
And I pulled the Indigo card, which is to improve your vision. And it means divine intelligence. Please allow what I have seen in my vision to manifest in perfect time and in the perfect way.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
That's the Secrets of Color deck. It's a great deck. If you want to do pull a card a day, you know, kind of thing.
Mm. I grabbed Andrea's cards.
Okay.
And I got Observe and Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it feels like it'll be this way. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like observe first.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at the reflection of your soul. You can't bloom and blossom unless you figure out what's going on within your soul. So observe your environment. Take what's all that's good and necessary, and then you can bloom when you figure it all out. That's what I got from those two.
Yay.
That observe kind of looks like you're almost maybe possibly looking in a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of feeling, you know, so you can't bloom unless you figure it out. You know, if you're stressed out, it's kind of like what we talked about earlier today with energies and, you know, when the question earlier. You know, figure out why your body's aching, or figure out why you're feeling stressful, or where the weird energies are. And the best way to do that is to release or go into nature or grab your crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, grab your crystal and imagine the crystals taking away that bad energy, and figure out why your body aches or you're feeling weird. But yeah, blessings to everyone that donated today, sharing the love and being here. Thank you, Nancy Jean, for sharing your geopolitical and crystal knowledge.
Yeah, well.
Yes.
You're
I really enjoyed being here, and I thank you to all the people who woke up on a Sunday morning and came here to visit with us.
Yep, there you go, Deanne. Remember, next year will be better. Relax and patience. And of course, Debbie always the natural hugging you. That's what you always say, right? I'm hugging
Yeah,
you.
hugging you.
It's fun to watch
Hugging
Debbie
you,
all
my
thought
friend.
out. You're all thought out and in Florida instead of sitting in
Oh,
Colorado.
I am all wrapped up in a warm hug here with the weather. Just really feels good.
Mm.
And
Ooh,
you've got your ladies' night tomorrow night, Debbie?
Ladies' night is tomorrow night, and
Mhm.
11:11 is in just about 40 minutes. So,
And
yeah.
okay, she's got her other thing, and I've got my show on Tuesday on automatic writing, and on Thursday I'm having an interesting show with one of the distance healers that cleared my lungs of my asthma. She's going to come
mhm.
to a session at 1
Very
o'clock
nice.
live to see how distance healing works. And believe me, a year ago I would have rolled my eyes on it, but since I no longer have asthma and take no meds, I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Nice.
Come get
Oh,
informed.
that's it. Don't miss that
all,
one, you guys. Don't miss
all
out on
things
that.
possible. Everyone have a beautiful day. Yeah, I got one for sure. I got Mystery Theater with Andrea
Oh,
Wednesday.
that's fun. That's always a good show.
So, Debbie, you have your show coming up in half hour, right?
Yep.
Right,
Yep.
beautiful. Everyone have a beautiful day, and thank you much.
Bye.
Blessings.